was a day like any other in Los Angeles, California, when Robert's childhood possession, 28-year-old teddy bear Barry, went missing and was later found in a garbage bag on the side of a road. A life insurance policy was made just weeks before his disappearance, a policy opened by Robert himself. The forensic evidence painted a vivid picture of Robert's movements on the morning of Barry's disappearance.
So on the day that Barry disappeared, you weren't at home?
No, I was at the bank depositing my stimulus check.
Robert stated to investigators that he wasn't home, that he was at the bank.
You didn't stop for lunch on your way home?
No, I couldn't eat. I was too horrified.
You were too horrified to eat before you found out Barry was missing?
Detectives knew that was a lie. Prosecutors believe Robert arrived home with food from a local restaurant. Searching through his mail, he saw that his stimulus check wasn't going to be able to cover all of his streaming service bills, and that he would have to use some of it to purchase stamps to mail out his unemployment papers. That's when he walked into his bedroom and saw Barry sleeping. He got the idea that if he could murder Barry and hide his body, it might buy him enough time to place a life insurance policy on him before investigators discovered the body. The evidence shows that Robert entered the bedroom where he placed his bag of food on the floor, leaving a spot on the carpet from a ketchup stain found on the bag. That evidence would later be used to prove he did purchase lunch that day. Robert grabbed Barry, and a struggle ensued. The autopsy reports showed that Robert punched Barry over 40 times, leaving fibers on his hands and his clothes. Robert watched the crime scene the best he could. And put Barry's body in a garbage bag. He drove out and dumped the body on the side of the road.
Well, once we found the ketchup stain, we were able to date it back to it being spilt on the day of the disappearance. We determined that he most definitely brought home food that same afternoon. And then when we found the bear fibers in his vehicle, we knew we had him.
Robert confessed and pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. The judge ruled that Robert received no less than a fine for littering, since murdering stuffed animals isn't a real thing. The judge also stated he found this case to be a complete waste of time, and was so outraged he sentenced Robert to life in prison, without the possibility of parole.
Oh, I don't blame the judge at all. In fact, this case was a complete waste of everyone's time.
We can thank forensics for solving this case. Buy my book.
Oh, there's no such thing as a life insurance policy on a teddy bear. I don't even know why I was part of this case, honestly.
If it weren't for science, Robert would still be out there, murdering more stuffed animals. I wrote a crime book once, which justifies me being on this episode, even though I have zero connection to the case.
Another criminal off the street thanks to forensics. And more importantly, tax dollars.